This is Bob, Jen, and their 15-year-old daughter, Sky. In our last episode at Vineray Farms, we met with Bob and Sky to discuss how his 3 Belgian draft horses, Cap, Dan, and Katie, participate in the cultivation of the family's 1-acre garden plot. It is midsummer now, and vegetable production is in full swing. The vegetables are grown 100% organically, harvested at their peak for the family's CSA program, or sold to a restaurant in the Bay Area. In today's video, we will meet with Jen, see some of the vegetables she grows, learn some useful garden tips, and listen to a bit of history behind this unique farm in Woodland, California.
Hi, my name is Jen Adams, and I'm Bob's wife. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of history about our farm. Bob bought the farm about 27 years ago, and he scraped together all the money he had. He did not inherit the farm, which is actually something that was very attractive to me. I thought it was cool he did that. When I met Bob, I had had a little experience with landscaping, and largely seeds were my passion. So I started saving tomato seeds. I don't have tomato seeds here, but I just wanted to show you. Every year I dry my own seeds. These are melon seeds. I dry them on a plate and then I scrape them off, and when they're fully dry I put them in an envelope and I label them as to what they are, and I save them for the next year. And the thing that's so cool about that is they're alive, they're dormant, even in the envelope here. But when I just add a little water and soil and love, they grow. And that's pretty awesome. This is my uncle, who actually was the very first one who showed me how to germinate tomato seeds. And he, as you can see in the picture, is very passionate about fresh produce himself. And I first want to start out by saying, when you're out at the farm, you want to make sure you're covered up. I'm not wearing my hat right now, but today's a cooler day. Typically, you'd want to wear a hat, drink plenty of water, and make sure you're covered up, because it's a whole different deal out here in the on the farm. Okay, so here we are on the tomato patch. We usually grow about 500 tomato plants. This year we're cutting it back a little bit. We only have 200, but we have probably, I'd guess maybe 12 to 15 varieties. I start them all with my own seeds, and it's really fun. So we grow them in a greenhouse at our home in Davis, and we bring them up here when they're old enough. These plants here are probably now, I'd say, 7 to 8 weeks in the ground. And what we do is we stake them with, each plant gets a stake, and then we tie them every week because they grow about 12 inches. And you want to bend your knees. Put it on the next one as I go down the row. Grab one of my pieces of twine. I tie it in a bow because sometimes you can reuse them. So for instance, one that might be down below, you can untie that very easily and use it as you go up. So you can recycle it. So anyway, you saw I tie it, and then next week it'll be up another 12 inches. I tie it, and then when it gets to the top, let it all spindle out like an octopus, and it will shade the fruit that's within. So here is our zucchini, and we kind of keep it simple. This is basically a green zucchini, a yellow zucchini, and this particular one is called a Zephyr zucchini, which it reminds me of a yellow zucchini that was dipped in green paint. So here we have a zucchini flower, and some of you may have actually tried fried zucchini flower, which is really, really delicious. But you have to be careful because sometimes the bees go in there And when it gets a little later, the flower closes up around the bee. So if you're ever doing it, make sure you don't have a bee in your zucchini flower. So when I cut the eggplant, I like to cut it right back from the stem right back to the plant itself. For one thing, I think it looks pretty on the eggplant, but I also think that it keeps the plant really healthy. So I don't leave any like little stubs. Show you just a small variety here of some of the peppers that we have. And these are the pepper plants. And let me show you what sunburn looks like. I'll just cut one off here. So that's what happens when a pepper plant gets too much sun. Doesn't mean it's not edible, it still is, it just doesn't look as pretty. And in the beginning, I started planting my own seeds. Bob built me a beautiful little tiny greenhouse. Here he is building it. We could put it in the back of our truck and we could move the greenhouse around as we moved. And because we did live in Marin County before we came up to the farm and lived here. But these are pictures of this is our very first little tomato garden. We started growing all this wonderful produce and people said, would you be willing to sell this? And that got us to thinking maybe we could do that. Then we started talking directly with restaurant chefs and finding out exactly what it was that they wanted. And we learned more and more that the most important thing is really serving what is fresh and in season, which then got me to thinking, you know, all restaurants should be preparing what is fresh and what's in season. And depending upon where you are, you should be growing and serving what is growing and in season in that particular area. It just really does make sense for children especially to understand and ask their parents when they're in the grocery store, is this fresh? Or did this in season where we live? Or is this coming from maybe another country and shipped all the miles away from there to here to be on our dinner table? Because we're so lucky, we get things from everywhere. But eating what's fresh and local is the best way to go about it. We really only grow what we love, and if we really love it, we pretty much are hoping everybody else is going to, and it seems to work.
So this is Miss Cheryl, and I want to thank you again for joining us on this video and this visit to Vine Ray Farms. We'll see you again next time.